Republican presidential candidate and author of Our Presidents and Their Prayers, and my guest on The Real Story again today. Senator, when we see this action going on today with our own forces dropping the bombs, is this what you were talking about during the debate with regard to what your foreign policy would be, or was Marco Rubio right in calling you an isolationist?
Well, I think the real debate we had is over whether Marco Rubio is a fiscal conservative. And I think adding $1 trillion worth of military expenditures that's not paid for, and adding $1 trillion in child tax credits that's not paid for, I don't think that's very conservative. These child tax credits that he's talking about currently have a 25% fraud rating and improper payment rating.
Okay.
And the Investigator General actually found that $4 billion worth of these tax credits were going to illegal immigrants. So I think if we do Marco Rubio's plan, my fear is that many more illegal immigrants will be getting tax credits and welfare transfer. And I just don't think conservatives are for that.
Okay, so that's one part of the issue, but another part of it was for military spending. And so we see this operation taking its place out in the Middle East today. Is this something that you would agree with?
I'm for a strong and robust military. I think it's the #1 priority of spending. We currently spend more than the next 10 countries combined. You add Russia and China together, and then you add 8 more countries until you get to how much we spend. So we should have national defense be a priority, but it doesn't mean a blank check. And where I don't think Marco Rubio is conservative is that he wants $1 trillion with a T. And I think as we go further and further into debt, we actually become weaker and that we become less safe. Admiral Mullen said that the biggest threat to our national security right now is our debt. And I think Marco Rubio, if he had our way, he would pile on so much new debt that we would be inundated with the debt.
It does bring a very interesting discussion about what exactly is a fiscal conservative, and I think that you both laid out very interesting points the other night. I want to get your opinion on this because a lot of your base has been the younger people in our society, and we're watching now this unrest unfolding on campuses, the University of Missouri, Yale, now Ithaca. And many demonstrators are using First Amendment rights on both sides of this debate, including outbursts like this over an email sent about discriminatory Halloween costumes. Listen to this. Well, the backlash coming after the professor in the room's wife wrote a letter in response to the political correctness warning. So, Senator Paul, what are we to make of these protests that continue to grow across our college campuses?
It kind of boggles the mind. Comedians, famous comedians, Jerry Seinfeld has said he won't perform on college campuses anymore because they've become intolerant and they really have no sense of humor. I was joking the other day, I was in Iowa and I was on a 10-foot by 10-foot podium or platform, and I was joking that, I hope I didn't wander off of that because I think I was in the free speech zone. So no, I think we need to have more speech. And, when I was a kid, when you left home, you entertained and you met people in college who had wildly different views than you were, and that's how your opinions were shaped. And college was great because it was a free exchange of ideas.
Of course,
so
but now
I think
it's changed.
We've gotten kind of intolerant.
Yeah, now it's changed. Another one of your competitors, Chris Christie, today said that it was partially President Obama's fault for putting us into this sort of mindset now. Would you agree with that?
Well, I don't know if it's one person's fault or not, but we've become overly sensitive where people can't tell a joke, people can't have an opinion. Yep. Only certain opinions are acceptable on college campus. So I think we need more robust debate, and there really shouldn't be this monolithic thing. I mean, if you challenge climate change, it's almost like they'll put you in prison for challenging the religious dogma of climate change on campus, and that's crazy.
All right. Senator Rand Paul, great to see you again. Thank you. So we have